So let's talk about a metastore. Okay, so we have seen there are three type of metastores, like embedded mode, local mode, and remote mode. So what is embedded mode? Embedded mode is like your Hive will come along with the default database. The default database of the Hive is dbderby. The dbderby will be I mean, you don't need to explicitly configure and all. You don't need to do it. By default, your Hive uses the dbderby. Then what is the problem with the dbderby? The problem is the dbderby is only one session can open. Only one person can go ahead and connect and try to access it. So it's a development environment, and it's not no a development environment in the sense like when multiple people wants to connect to your Hive. Let's say your Hive is running on some Linux machine. Okay, you want to connect to the Hive, right? Let's assume that. So my Hive is running on my Linux box here. This is my Linux box. So my Hive is running here. So I want to connect to this. I want to do some performance. I mean, something, I want to perform some operations. Like, how will I connect? I will connect through my putty, correct? And the same way, someone also can connect to that machine, right? Because your Linux is multi-sessions, so any number of people can connect, right? So when they're connected and when they're trying to access it, when they're trying to access the Hive, when they're running the query, so each query is one request, each query is one session, right? I mean, one user is one session. If another user is logged in and he started accessing the Hive, that is for other session. So your Derby will not support that. That's why our Derby is not preferable. Embedded database is not preferable. So what we will do, we'll go either with a local mode or remote mode. What is the local mode? Local mode means wherever your Hive is running, the same machine, your JDBC or your database also will be running in it. So it's not recommended for the production environment, right? So production environment will be having a different machine where the database services will be running and where your Hive services will be running, right? So that is just a local mode is for it's a multi-session, but it is for development environment. Like multiple people can connect, but it's not really not recommended one. So because your JDBC is running in the same machine, your database is running on the same machine, your Hive is running on the same machine, so it's ideally it's not recommended for production environment. So production environment will go with the remote mode. Do you guys understand what is the difference between them? I hope everyone understood. Any doubt? So how many type of tables are there? How many types of tables are there?
Now, four type of table is there. One is the managed table, second is external table, third is temporary table, and fourth is the skew table, and
Mm-hmm.
managed table is a default table.
Okay. So what is a managed table? What is a managed table and what is a temporary table?
No, temporary table means when we it will be end. It is alive still the session is there. Once the session is end, then the temporary table on like whatever we are store the data means
Mm-hmm.
till it is available when the session is there. Once the session end, then temporary table will be, that is the temporary table.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what is a managed table?
Managed table means whatever we are means store the is by default whatever we are storing the data, load the data, that is the managed table.
Okay. Okay, managed table is the table, it's a default table. So whenever you create a table in a Hive, by default it will be managed table. So the limitation of the managed table is when you drop the managed table, it will drop your schema as well as the data information. Okay, data also will be dropped. So we have seen that yesterday, right? So we have loaded the data, we have moved the data, we have performed multiple operations yesterday. We have performed multiple operations to demonstrate how your the Hive works. Understand? Understand, right? Yes or no, guys? We have performed multiple operations on no, managed tables. We have loaded from the HDFS, and we have used the put command. We loaded the data also into Hive table. Different kind of operations we have performed, right? Different kind of operations we have performed. So with the location we tried, without location we tried. Okay, temporary table we have seen. Let's go ahead and see what is external table. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is a external table. Any doubts till the temporary table whatever we have discussed? Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? No. Guys, respond to me, no? Yes or no? Maybe no comments.
No, not till now. No.
External table. External tables are the tables in a Hive which we to create a table we'll use the external keyboard. We have to use the keyword as external, like create external table, table name, and remaining everything is same. Column, data type, column 2, data type, and row format, delimited, blah 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 blah. Everything is same. Here also you can specify the location, or without location you can specify. And same way, two ways we will load the data. Load data from local path, local in path, blah blah blah. You will give path, the path from where you want to get the data, US or local something, into sample test, into table sample, and or suppose if you want to load data from the HDFS, you will also use the load data in path. You will use the path of the HDFS into table sample. Correct, right? So you will do like this. So what is the difference between external table and managed table? So when you say external table, external tables are not managed by, are not controlled by Hive. Okay, it is external. It is not. It's it's managed by your Hive will not take a whole control on it. What your Hive will do, ideally, it will create a table, and it will be either reference the existing table by using a location, or you can also load the data in it. Load is same, so it will cut paste. Okay, so it will cut paste, but if it is a local it is copy paste. If it is HDFS, cut paste. When you drop the table, when you drop the external table, the data will not be dropped, the data will not be deleted, data will be remain same in the same location, whichever the location you have specified. Let's see an example. Let's see the example. I'm going to create some external table. Very simple. Create external name, same name, nothing changes. Create external table name, and all your properties same. And you can either specify the location or without location. You can also show without location. Okay. So first let's look at without location. I want to show you without location, but external tables while creating external table, guys, please try to remember when you are creating external table, most of the time we will specify the location only. Existing table only will specify existing path. So it doesn't mean that we cannot create a table without location. We can create a table without location, but it's not recommended. Look at here. It's clearly showing that. So if we do not specify the location, the table will be created under the same warehouse only. It will create under the same warehouse, nowhere else it will create, because that is the default path of the Hive, and it will treat as a managed table. But when you drop it, it will delete the only the table and schema, not the data. Okay, let's look at this first. I want to show you this first because we just came from the managed table thing, right? So let's create. Okay, let's go and use for our database. Okay, yesterday I was showing you guys like a Hive RC, right? I was going through here, I was showing the Hive RC file, right? So why I was not able to show you the Hive RC. Hive RC is there in it, okay? So the problem is I see in conf Hive RC file is there, but it's not visible. So later I realized when I close the session, it is like a .hive RC file. When it is .hive RC file, it is a hidden file, right? The hidden file will not be, you cannot view like directly. So if you want to see that, what you can do, you can see here Hive RC file. If you cat this Hive RC file, these are the things I have written in Hive RC. I can write anything in Hive RC. It is the Hive RC is a file which is for while Hive is starting up, it will execute all these statements which are there in the Hive RC file. Hive runtime configuration. Okay, that's a .hive RC file. That's why I was not able to show yesterday. Later I realized, okay, this is what it has to be done. Clear? Understood about the Hive RC? Let's go back here. So now I want to create a table. I want to create a table. So we are using for our exercises, we are using test 630. Wrong. Space is missed. Show tables. We have some tables in this. So we have 3 tables in this. So I'm going to create one table. I'm going to create one table. The table is an external table but without location. External table only but without location. Same, nothing changes, only the external keyword you have added, nothing else. Everything is similar, only external keyword you have added. Create external table name. Okay, external is the keyword. How you have did for the temporary, the similar way. Table is created. Now I need to load the data. Let's say if you go and see here, select star from, nothing is there, only table columns are there, right? Nothing, no data is loaded into this. So I'm going to load the data for local path. So let it be, is no difference. You can load the data from the HDFS path or local path. If you load from the, okay, now see here where the table has been created. Your external table also will get created in the same location, because the hive uses the default location, which is /user hive warehouse. Sorry, not this. If anyone using 2.7 onwards, 2.7 onwards, if you are not able to see legacy view, don't surprise. I think legacy view is not there in the 2.7 onwards. Hadoop version 2.7 onwards. User, Hive, warehouse. Inside the warehouse, I just created table, one table under the 630 database. Categories, no location. Now I'm going to load the data in it. What does it mean? It is created under the warehouse only. Even though if you didn't specify the location, irrespective of managed or external, by default it will go and create under warehouse. If you specify the location, that's what yesterday I have shown you. Wherever the location you are specifying, the direct it will not create a directory, it will refer the existing directory. It will refer the existing directory. Okay, let me show you that difference. Now I'm going to execute this. Loaded, data is loaded. So some data is there in this. Some data is there in this. You can also go ahead and see here. So there's some data is there in this. This is the data. Now I'm going to load some data into this from an existing data. From an existing data. Let me see any data I want to just load which is comma separated data. Let's say departments. Okay, let me use the same categories. Let me use the same categories. I want to load this data. Command will not change, only will remove local, right? Training external table categories. Okay, so training external table categories. Let it take different one because I need it for some other purpose. Let's say scoop import. You have a departments here. I have a departments here. Okay, department has only two columns. Oh, this is pipe separated. Okay, I have asked you guys to do some exercises. I don't know whether you guys did it or not. Okay, let's do with the same only, no problem. If I want, I can create one more. External categories. So command will be similar, nothing changes. Only you will remove the local. Will remove the local. Here you will give the slash training. I think it's already have used somewhere. This is the data. This is the command. Now look at here. Here you can see, guys, already there are multiple examples. Okay, I have done the same thing here. So while explaining, I have kept in this document. This is example 1 and example 2. So but for you explaining the same. So when we are see here I'm loading the data. Okay, and like that you have a multiple schemas. You can also create a multiple schemas using similar data. You have a different example for each and every table. Please go ahead and execute this. As executed, I have a total 116 records now. Total 116 records now. So now let's go ahead and see what are the location I have specified. The location the data is are near. No, the data is not there. Why? What happened? The data has been moved. The external table that whatever I have specified, right? It is there. How come? Okay, the file has been moved. See here, the file is not there. The file is not there. The file has been moved. Cut and paste. To where it is moved. Look at here where it is moved. User, Hive, warehouse test 630 category location, it has been moved here. It has been moved to here. So as I said before, irrespective of external managed table, if you load the data from HDFS, it will cut from the source and paste into destination. The destination is the warehouse. Irrespective of external managed table, if you specify the location, it will refer the existing location. It will not create a directory under the warehouse. So you should be very careful, and you should understand this is very differently. Now I'm going to drop this table and let's see what happens. Drop table. What is a drop table? Table name is, this is a little bigger table name. I just want to copy from here. Drop table name I have dropped. If you want to see, you can see table is not there. Categories underscore external underscore no location, that table is not there. It has been removed. Let's go ahead and see whether the data is available or not. Yes, the data remains same. But the data is there under warehouse because you have loaded the data. When you loaded the data, it will come to warehouse only, right? The data, when you load the data will come to warehouse only. It will not go anywhere else. So now, if you already loaded the data, so this data has to be referred by someone else. So it's something like, it is something like similar to your HDFS only. It's nothing like, now no one is referring this table. This is not a table now. Now let's say I'm going to create a table by referring this location. It will get created, no problem, because this is the data, right? This is a normal data. This is also like a normal location only, no? This is not something different. When you look at through Hive, it is a different, but when you look at through HDFS, nothing changes, no difference at all. It can be my local, it can be my other HDFS location only, right? So now I'm going to create a table by referring this location. Try to understand, guys. I'm doing, something, warehouse 630 db and create external table. Let's go ahead and create a table. Here it is there. Okay, so I'm taking this. This is, I'm loading the data. I don't want to load this time. I want to refer an existing data. Let's go with this. For referring, this is the data. Okay, but in this data is not there. No, I don't want to refer this. I want to refer something else. Let's create this first. Okay, slash user slash hive slash warehouse slash tested 630 slash the name I want to see. No, this is the location, but I should not give that. But to make you understand, I'm just giving this. You can look, cross verify one more time whether the location is same or not. Yep, hive same. Sorry guys. The location is correct. Then semicolon, press enter. Table is created. Now this is your table name. Now categories external location, this is my table name. Select star from categories external. Why? The location is wrong. User hive warehouse slash user hive. I doubt about this. Dot db. We have missed .db. Oh, okay, fine. So we just take a line by line. It is just like a location, no? So we should give properly. So list.db and double quote and execute this. The table already exists, correct? Because we have created before. You guys able to follow, no? So the main thing is for don't worry about the small issues. I just my intention is something different to make you understand. Drop table. Okay, okay. Are you guys able to follow what I'm trying to do here? That's the most important. Whether you guys are able to follow or not. Table created. Records are there. See here 116. 116 records are there. How? Because there are two files in that location. If I go and drop this, okay. Now go ahead and look at what is our table name? Categories underscore external location. Let's look at whether the table is created or not. As I said yesterday, irrespective of managed or external, the table will not be created if you are using a location as a keyword. So whatever the directory you are referring, it will be referred to that directory only. I'm referring this directory, it will be referred that directory only. So there is no point to create a new directory, right? You guys able to understand? Able to understand? So what does it external table? External table is the table when you draw. So if it can be referred existing location, or you can load the data in it. So the table will be created if you are not specifying the location. The table will be created under the warehouse only, as similar as your managed table. And if you are specifying the location, whatever the location you are referring, it will be referring to that location, right? And this will not be managed by Hive. And when you drop the table, only table and schema will be dropped, the data will remain same. So if any other applications are using the same location, it is nothing impact on that location. Understand guys about the external table? Yes, no, maybe, no comments. Anil, Anisha, Ganesh.
Understood. I'm good. I'm good, Ravi.
Yeah,
Understood.
okay. So this is how your external tables works. If you remove it will, if you drop, it will not impact on anything and data. So now what is the advantage of having this? Let's say I have some data which is some location, some HDFS location, as I shown before. Let's say some data categories or whatever it is. This data can be using by some other persons, some other things. It can be pig, it can be something else, some other else. So now when I through Hive external, I started referring this. I'm taking reference. If I drop this, if the table drop, it will be impacted on this pig and Hive or pig and MapReduce or something else, right? But should not be the case. So we should use something called external. If you use external and referring some data, if you drop the table, only the Hive table will be dropped, not the actual data. So there won't be any impact on the pig and other applications. There's a major difference between your external and managed table. That is the difference between external and managed table, right? And irrespective of whether you're loading the data or referring the data, if it is a managed, if it is a managed, if you're a managed table, whether you are loading the data or location the referring the existing location, no matter, when you drop the table, it will get dropped. But external, no matter whether you load the data or location, it will not delete the data. Okay, that's the difference, guys. So I want you guys to do hands-on, more hands-on on this. Please do it, so then you can easily understand. Okay, next, try to understand the complex data types. Try to understand complex data types. What are the
Hey
complex?
Veera, one quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you show in Putty how to differentiate between which one is managed table and which one is external table?
Very good question.
So when we say show table, it shows all the tables.
Very good questions. Very good questions. Very good question. Actually, I missed to show that. Yeah. Now let's talk about describe. Now, when we see show tables, it will not differentiate which is external, which is managed, right? But I can see describe. Does it showing any difference here? No. Description as like your MySQL, you have something called DESC, right? The same. Describe here. Describe formatted. Describe formatted. Look at here. It is showing some more information. Your columns, your column information, and which database you are using, who is the owner, when it has created, last access, and the location of the data, whether it is a managed or external, whether it is a managed or external, and external number of files in the data. So how many files are in that location? As I shown before, two files, total size of the files in bytes, and transaction lost is something, and Saturdays. So your Hive also uses the Saturdays. I'll tell you what is the Saturday. Saturday is very simple way saying the serializing and deserializing. Serializing the data into your Hadoop and deserializing and like in your into your Hive and deserializing. Okay, taking the data from the external like a local or here from the other location to Hive. While it is loading the data into Hive, it will serialize the data and deserialize. So what is input format? So text input format. What is the output format? Hive ignore key text output format. Text input format is the default input format, but output format is Hive text, Hive ignore key, text output format. Is a compressed. I'm not using as of now the compressions. It's not compressed data. Are you using any buckets? No, I'm not using any buckets. And you don't have a bucketed column and sort column. You don't have. And storage. This is how the delimiter is, comma. Okay, so when you do a description, you'll get the more details. You have to use describe formatted. Describe formatted. This is the command to see it. And there is something called describe extended. Describe extended. So it also shows the same on a different format, but here we'll be having a tables and what the types of the tables and what is. So it will be something like clumsy. So you can see the location here. This is the location from here, like a JSON object. It's not even a JSON object. It's like shows like a key value pairs. And skewed columns, no skewed columns, buckets, no columns, field limit is a comma, field limit is comma, serialization format is comma, right? So you can see number of files here. You can see the table type. You can see the total size here. And you can see, is there any comments for the specific table? I didn't give any comments. You can see the table name here, type of the table, table column name and type of the column. Here you can see the table name and DB name, owner, all information will be there here. Okay, but I want to see complete tables. Which table I want to see? This description is like one table, no? I want to see description is one table, but I want, sorry guys, description is like one table. I want to see all the tables, which table is managed and which table is not managed. Do you guys remember while you were setting up your Hive, you have set it up something called your metastore, your data metastore. Let's use that and let's go ahead and see. There are some tables in this. There is something called tables TBLS. Okay, first let me show you description. This is the description. This is the description. Okay, it has a table ID, it has a creator time, it has a last access owner, retention, and it has all this information, right? Let's say I just want to see 1 second. I just want to see. It will list out here. So not to worry, it will list out here. Just let's say this is our external table we created. So what type of table it is? External table. Okay. It will list out here. So I just want to see here TBL type. Single quote. See here. These are the external tables. Understand, Anil?
Yeah,
I,
Ravi, I got this.
so this is how we'll see. In the real time, you'll be having only one metastore and you'll be having only one or two databases. So you can go ahead and look at it, which table is external, which table is not external. You can easily see it. You can able to see that by
Ravi,
querying your metadata. Clear? Any doubt?
Ravi,
Yeah, someone is calling me. I'm not able to hear him.
yeah,
Yeah, Ganesh.
yeah. Ravi, so the metadata will get stored only in this TBLS table, right?
It's not, see that not only TBLS table, there are so many tables, right? So I see this each and every table has this respective purpose. I really didn't get into this and I really didn't see this any these things. So anyone interested can go ahead and query this table and let's see what are there in it.
Okay, Ravi. Got it.
So some information will be there, right? So So some information is there here. See, categories, category ID, category department. So what are the tables you have created? All the column information is there in this table. So in the different tables are getting created for the different, right? So column ID,
Yeah,
column,
Ravi,
column
but
name. Yeah.
yeah, from the developer perspective, we'll be concentrating only on managed and external table and the temporary table, right? Because the rest of the tables which you are listing out here, most of
No,
them are for the
no,
housekeeping and DBS.
no. See, the whatever you're trying to say is correct. We will be concentrating only the managed or temporary or SKU, whatever the table we are. This is your meta store. You have a meta store, no? See, you are talking about Hive tables. Hive tables are different. These meta store tables are different. These meta store tables are like you have you have did it here, no? The metadata information. Suppose if you have created external table where it has to create, what are the columns and all, you have specified here, no? This
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that gives our all the information about the metadata like
Exactly.
bucketing and partitioning, those kind of stuff we can able to verify from there.
Yeah, so see, this metadata information will store one information one way. Say all table information will load into TBLS. All the column information it is loading into some other table. All the partition information will go and store into these partitions. These partitions. If you want, you can query this. So this is the partition information. So all the partitions. So this is a metadata. This is a metadata of a data which you are loading into Hive. Okay, suppose anyone want to see what is my partition events, what is my partition columns. If anyone want to see in his whole database, not in a single not in a single table, so in whole database. So if you want to see in for only single table, he has something called show partitions that will show there. But in metadata, inside the metadata for your RDBMS, how it is storing. So you can query this these tables. The SKU tables, different, you want to see different kind of roles, and you want to see role underscore map. If you want to see role underscore, there are two type of roles, admin and public, and you can see role and map. So it's based on the I mean, see, what suppose you want to understand something, you can go ahead and query your metadata information and you can see this. So as of now, no records in this, nothing is mapped. This is a metadata which is pointing out your Hive. Hive is pointing out this metadata. So external tables, managed tables, those all comes under your development. So when you create external table, when you create a managed table, when you create a SKU table, that meta information, what is the table name, what is the column name, what is the type of the column, what is the partition, what is the bucketing, all this information is going into your metadata. This is the metadata. This is the metadata which I'm showing here. This is the metadata. Functions. Funcs. You can see. As of now, nothing in this. If you are using any functions, it will use it. Understood? Let's move. The next one is complex data types. Everyone is clear? Describe I could have shown yesterday only, but fine. Anyway, so got a chance to show that. Complex data types. I have given some introduction in the last class. What is the complex data types? So we have two type of data types. One is a primitive data type. Other one is complex data types. When it comes to the primitive data type, I have shown like begin, small int, float, double, varchar. Even Hive supports the varchar now, the latest version of that. And you have something called varchar, string it has, datetime it has, right? It has some data types I have shown there. But when it comes to the complex data type, there are three types of complex data types. One is array. Array. What is array? Similar definition, guys. Linear list of elements which has the same data type. Linear list of elements which has the same data type. Similarly, in Hive also, you can maintain linear list of elements which has the same data type. Which has the same data type. Let's assume that I have something called assets or property or assets. An employees belong to some assets, or let's say my personal I have belong some assets. Let's say I have one palace in Bangalore, I have one palace in US, I have one house in other Goa, I have something in my village. Let's say I have some assets, right? So all assets are belong to me only, no? All assets are belong to me only, no? Person ID, person name, and assets, right? So how I need to represent this? Asset 1, asset 2, asset 3. It can grow up asset 100. So let's say Vijay Mallya has so many assets in so many locations. If you take myself, I have only one asset in one place. So if you take some other ones, they have multiple assets in multiple places. So it is dynamically growing. It is not constant. So I cannot create a different column for each asset. Asset 1 one column, asset 2 another column, asset 3 another column. I cannot create like this. I need a table which can handle what are the assets I'm putting. It has to come into the single column. Single column. Let's take here person ID, person name, and assets. So this assets is a single column, guys. So I can keep growing these assets. This asset is a single column. You may say that, sir, why I need a different data type? I'll keep it in a comma separated. How difficult it is? I know SQL. I'll keep it in a comma separated. It's very easy to manage, no? Correct. You can keep it with a comma separated. In single column, what you can do, you can keep asset 1, asset 2, asset 3, asset 4, and so on. Tomorrow I want to query everyone's 10th asset. How will you query from this column? I want to find everyone's 10th asset. I have some mapping. So let's say the 10th asset is belong to something called everyone's 10th asset is like some island. I have some mapping. So 10th asset means it's island. So very less people will be having island, right? Or they'll be having so many who have that. So I want to find the 10th asset. How will I find? If you say comma separated, you have to query, you have to do also something, you have to do some regular expression, you have to write for this. But if I put into array type data type, I can directly pass 10th element, right? You want to get the 10th element? No, very easy, no problem. Assets of 10, you'll get the element. Asset of 10th, you'll pass and you will get the 10th element. You want to get the asset of 5th element, asset of 5th. Select star from this, where asset equal to this, or get me the 10th asset of this. So you can easily query if you have a complex data type like this. Do you guys understand the array? Anil, Anisha, Ganesh, Kishore, Masood, Nikesh, Sai, Sachin, right? So that's the main advantage of having a complex data types. Let's see an example for this. Very simple example. So let's go down. Okay, so if it is a one more point I have missed here, if it is external table and the same data, you can create multiple schemas. If it is same data, you can create multiple schemas. So because the data is not, suppose if I drop this, data will not be dropped. If I drop this, data will not be dropped. I can create any number of schemas in the same data. Okay, I can create any number of schemas in the same data. So coming here, complex data types, array. Let's look at here, employee. I have taken some employee. I'm taking employee ID, employee name and salary, and there will be an employee, there will be some assets will be associated with each employee, right? And location. So each employee will be associated with some asset, right? Like say laptop. They have given laptop and laptop bag, mouse. They may given a phone. So those are all associated with, right? Some people will be associated with desktop, and along with the desktop, they may give extended monitor. Extended monitor. They may give a docket. They may given your something they might have given, right? So all this information where will keep in assets, right? So if you observe the data closely, guys, try to observe the data closely. Here my field delimiter is same, comma, but my collection delimiter, this is called collection, no? Because collection of elements, right? The collection delimiter is different. It has to be like this only. If your field delimiter is comma and your collection is also comma, you cannot recognize. You cannot at all recognize. So obviously when you're going with the complex data types, it means your data has two type of delimiters. Two type of delimiters. Okay, two type of delimiters. Those two type of delimiters are, one is the field delimiter, other one is the collection delimiter. Other one is the collection delimiter. Understand, right? Understand, guys? Any doubt? Yes or no?
No, not yours.
Okay, so let's see here. Same, create a table, nothing changes, everything. Row format delimiter fields terminated by comma. The only change is collection items terminated by. Collection item terminated by. We need to understand this. Collection items. These are the collection items terminated by dollar. Because here dollar, if you have a hash, if you have some other special character, you can. That's it, guys. Nothing changes. Everything is same. So I'm not going to execute this. You guys need to execute this. So I just want to give. And declaration also. Look at here. Array. Assets of array. Array is a data type. And what type of assets? Are you going to put a number type? Are you going to put in integer type? Are you going to put anything else? So you are clearly specifying here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So can you guys able to execute that? You want me to execute? I can execute it. I don't have any problem to execute, but I want you to execute it. Any doubt till here? Any doubt? Any doubt? Any? So while accessing, see when you say star, it will show that this is assets column. It's a assets column. Should not be like this is the different column I have specified, so that it is showing like this. It should show such a way that laptop. So associate one laptop. I mean, don't worry about the output whether it's showing same as this or not. Yes, mouse, phone, and this is like a laptop, and this is like mouse, and this is like ABC only. This is like DF only. Okay, you want to select the specific asset of 1, asset of 2, asset of 3. You can pass like this as a no, as like how you access your normal arrays. The similar way we will be accessing arrays here. This is any doubt about this collection, the way we access, the way we do the things. I hope everyone is clear.
Clear, Peter.
Yeah, so let's move to the next data type. Similar, this is also a little complex data type, which is like a map data type. Let's say you have something is map. This see the complex data type you can write with all together. Okay, so here in these examples how I'm showing, so I didn't write an example for only for arrays, only for this. I'm showing you one by one, like you can also have a array. So why I'm showing this, because your map is a separated delimiter and your array is separate delimiter. That's why I'm showing here in the same single example. Look at here, this is my data. This is my data, which has I have some assets has been allocated with my employee ID, and I have something called map. The map, this one, like my deductions, PF this much, EPF this much, right? So these are the deductions you can specify here. You can look at here. Each employee will have some deductions. So I want to see the deductions. If I get only the value, I may not understand this belong to which deduction it is. So if I get only 200, how will I know whether it's EPF or PF or something else? So you should have a key value pair. You should have something called key value pair. PF, EPF, PPF kind of thing. You want to see the deductions. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a table as similar as my assets are arrays, but my deductions are map. Deductions are map. The map is always key value pair, right? Map means it's a key value pair. Something is mapped with a sum. So in the key value pair, my key is what type of deduction it is. Value is what is the amount of it. It can be double, it can be int. So I have taken as int, right? So let's see here. We need to understand a little a different one here. The collection items terminated by dollar. Collection item collections. Two different tuples or two different values, two different objects, collection, and map keys are terminated by hash. See here, from here to here one collection, from here to here one collection. See PF, see, because this is a key value pair, right? If I take collection, it's a collection of elements, right? So my key colon value, let's say dollar, again key dollar value. Now this is one collection and this is one, I mean this is one element, this is one element. So here key value is a single element. We have to take it as a single element, key value, right? So this is the key value, because here two key values are there. The two key values are separated by dollar because it's a collection, because it is a collection. So we need to keep in mind that dollar is not only for array, dollar is not only for array, dollar is for the collection. In this case the collection is group of single elements. In this case the collection is group of elements, single elements, like a laptop was one element, and dollar mouse another element, right? So it's a single element here, but this single element become a key value pair element here. So no difference at all, no difference no between these two. But the only thing is that is only single cell laptop here to key hash value, like a key some separated and value. So that's why I'm specifying map keys are terminated properly by hash. Similar way, you can load the data, you can access directions of PF. How will you get the map? So how will you access your map? Let's say map dot get off, you'll pass the key. The similar here, column name dot, not dot, column name of, you have to pass the you have to pass the key. You have to pass the key. If you pass the key, respective value will be fetched. Respective value will be fetched. So directions of PF, directions of PPF, directions of EPF, whatever the one you want to direction, you want to see, you can see that. Clear, guys? Any doubt about the map? Look at here. When you say select star, it will show like this. These are your these items, and these are your PF and EPF things. So again, I need to change here. This is laptop, and this is mouse. I mean, this is not exact output of no. This wasn't I was explaining. I just previous example were ABC, so I brought it ABC. Mouse back and extended monitor. So I will also have some more. And phone also there. Page. So when it comes here, something, I'm not writing all of them, but let's say this come like this way. Okay. So it comes in that way. Clear? Any doubt? Any doubt about the complex data types? And there is another data type called struct. There is another data type called struct. You might have heard about the structs in your C. It's like similar like a class, okay, which will contain the multiple values in it. Let me show you what is the structs in C. Mappage, which is a key value pair. Your key will be separated with some value. It no need to be always hash, it can be anything else. So based on the data. And struct, like if you remember structure, struct this int I float some value double, different kind of data types, and we'll create here s1 comma s2 comma s3 struct1 comma struct2. These are objects. So you want to access s1, you want to access s1 dot I, so it will give integer value. If you want to access s2 dot I or s1 dot f, s3 dot f, so like that we used to access using a dot operator. Similar way here, the struct is a collection of data types or a collection of fields in a single data type. Collection of fields in a single data type. Let's say if I take a struct of address, street, I mean it's just a string or whatever it comes, data type, then city, then data type, other this, and add1, add2, like that we used to create, right? Similar way here also, the structs are multiple collection of data types. Let's look at here. This is my address, Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, and pin number, Bangalore, Karnataka, and this pin number. Hyderabad, then now Hyderabad is part of Telangana, so I can say Hyderabad, Telangana, and some pin number, right? So that's the way it will work. Look at here, the data type struct is a keyword, city colon, that's respect to data type, state colon respect to data type, pin colon that respect to data type. It's a single element. If you want to see all pin numbers, that address, what is the data type you are, column name you are taking, addr dot, the pin number you have to access, addr dot pin number. You want to see, find the city, addr dot city, right? You want to find the street of all the employees, addr dot address dot city. So dot object will use. So we do not have a separate delimiter like a map. Okay, map has a map keys, but here it's also looks like what, collection, right? So we will use collection items terminated by dollar, map is terminated by hash. So rest of everything will comes under collection only. So it will be treated as a collection. Clear, guys? To get a more information or more clarity on this, you guys can anyway execute that and go to the drive which I have shared with you guys. In the drive you have something called notes. In that notes there is something called one document is there, I think, what is a Hive. So that's the one. Go to Hive notes. In this you have something called what is Hive. Okay, here it has been clearly, I have defined clearly, and what type of scenarios will go with the structure and what type of scenarios will go with it. Yeah, say I want like this. There is an employee, subordinates, and his directions and his address. It is a single employees. It is a single employees. One second, guys. Okay, guys. This is single row for a single employee. His subordinates you want to see in array. His directions has been loaded into map, and his address will be like this. Like this. Okay, so based on the data, based on the things, you will create a table, and your collection items terminated by this delimiter line terminated by this, and store as a text file, store as a whatever the file you want to store it as, or CR something different, whatever the file format you want to store. Okay, so 0/001 is nothing but a control A character, guys. Control A, control B, control C. So not to worry about it. The default delimiter in Hive is a control A character. Default delimiter is a control A character. Okay, if your data has a control A character, you no need to specify here rows formatter, terminator, blah blah blah, all these things. It will automatically take care of it, because this default delimiter is control A character /0 in single quote /0001 001. Any doubts, guys? Any doubts? So next is a very much important topic that's called partitions. Very much important, because we'll be using the real time, and we'll also be get this so many questions from the partitions. Okay, so if anyone wants to take a quick break in 10 minutes, take and come back. I'll be taking the class till I think 8:15 or 8 close to 8:30. I will be close before that. Please let me know whether you guys want to break or we can continue. And the partitions are little much important, guys. We will be doing these partitions. I'll be explaining each and every point here in the partitions, and we'll be seeing something called bucketing as well. And there are something called joins. So where is the, let's go down. So partitions, I have given so many examples here. Okay, you guys can try in the different scenarios, and you can try with the different use cases. And there is something called some text data is there with me, some stock data. You can also play around with the stock data and examples, all this. And there are two type of partitions, and dynamic and static partitions. Okay, we'll talk about the dynamic and static partitions also as part of this. And bucketing, this is from here it will start the bucketing. After bucketing you will be having something, these are all output. Okay, after collecting this, and there is something called sampling. There is something called sampling, and there is something called multiple inserts. You can write a multiple insert statements. Okay, so you can insert from one table and you can put into other table, so that's also well possible. Okay, and joins are pretty simple here. It's very simple joins, like a very straightforward left outer join, right outer join. It's very simple joins are there. And UDF, which is another important part, user defined functions. Yep, we can complete this, not a problem. We can okay, anyone wants a break? Let's take a break and come back quickly, and we'll be completing all of them. Yep, that's it. There is a long way to go, but we'll complete it, not a problem. So why I'm referring this document, the problem is the locations. Okay, so I'll be having a different locations, but I need a data. When you want to play partitions, when you want to play with the bucketing and all those things, you should have a properly formatted data. So otherwise the concept will not reach you. So I'll explain the concept, I'll execute from this document. Yeah. Any doubt? I'm not hearing any doubt from you guys. Anil, Anisha, Ganesh. Want to go for a break? Guys, please tell me. Okay.
Yes, Vira.
Okay. So go for a break. Quickly come back in another 5 to 10 minutes. It's in IST it's a 7:41. So try to be here 7:50. So we can continue the rest of the thing. Thank you. Okay. What is a partition? What is a partition? Partition is dividing your data into smaller manageable parts. Smaller manageable parts. What is that? Try to understand here. Try to understand here. Partitions. Hey, what is a partition? Partition means dividing your whole data into manageable parts, small manageable parts. Why we need to divide into partitions? Why we need to divide into partitions? Very simple, guys. When you have a data in employee table, let's say I have an employee table. I have a employee. Even this partition concept is there in Oracle database. Let's say I have an employee table here. Employee ID, first name, last name, department, salary. Now I have some employees here. Let's say I have so many lakhs of records are there in this. Let's say I have a lakhs of records in this, thousands of records or whatever it is, the huge table it is. Now I want to fetch the employees. I want to fetch the employees whose salary is greater than 50,000. I want to fetch the employees whose salary is greater than 50,000. As soon as I execute this command, what will happen? It will start scan all the data. It will go ahead and scan it, right? It will go ahead and scan all the data and fetch, and it will fetch, and it will display in the console, and it will fetch and display in the console. So here you are trying to scan whole data in the millions of records. If we have a millions of records, it will be scanning all the millions of records, and it's fetching the records here. It's fetching the results. Yes or no? So to scan whole data, which is unnecessary data also, I am able to scanning whole data, correct? I'm scanning whole data, right? I don't want to scan whole data. I want to scan only few records of the data. How can I do that? Partition. Let's say if you take a salary is not that good example. If you take an employees whole worldwide, you have so many employees in worldwide. You want to fetch only the employees country is India. You want to fetch only India people. You want to fetch only India people, or you want to fetch only US people or UK. So you want to see a set of people who belong to that country. So in this case, what will happen? Again, it will scan whole data, right? So I don't want to scan whole data. I want to scan only India data. Just go ahead and scan India data, fetch it. How will I do that? So for that, Hive is come up with something called partitions. Even it's there in the relational database as well. It is not a very new in the Hive. It's already there. 1 second, guys. So here I don't need to scan whole data. I can go ahead and scan only respect to the scan. So let's say I have one more condition. That's the case one. Okay, this is the case one. I have one more condition. In the country equal to India and state equal to, you can take Karnataka. State equal to Karnataka. So now what will happen? Inside the country also you may have so many states, so many records are there. I don't want to scan whole records also. I want to scan only Karnataka. I want to scan only Karnataka. What is happening here? It's give you a better performance when you segregate the data into small manageable parts. How I am doing that? How I'm going to do that? Let's look at guys here. Let's look at guys here. So when I have a whole data, will be in a single folder. And HDFS is nothing but a single folder, right guys? It is a single folder, right? Employees. So non-partition table. So in the partition table, what I will do? In the partition table, what I will do? I will create small manageable parts. This is my directory. This is also employee table only, which is the partition. what it will do, I will partition each and every part of the data internally based on the country. Let's say it is a country. Country wise, let's say it's a country called India. Okay, this India record, India folder. I will put it here. Country equal to US. I'll put it here. UK. I will put it here. Something else. Japan or whatever it is. Now what happened here? My whole data resides in the non-partition is all will be in the single file, which is it is partition, all the records will be there. When I write a query on this table, I have to scan it to fetch the only India related people who belong to India or who belong to UK or who belong to Japan. I want to bring only that records. It will go ahead and scan whole directory. But when I go here, when I say I want to fetch the people who are country equal to, and I say IN, it will go to this directory, employee directory, and look for is there any directory with the name of country equal to IN. The directory name it is, guys. The directory name will come like this only, country equal to IN. Literally the directory name will be like this. And it look for any directory with a country equal to IN. It will look for that. If any directory is found, it will go and fetch only those records which is there in that records, which is there in that particular folder, which is there in that folder. So it is reducing the time is taking to fetch the records from the non-partition table compared to the partition table. So it is quickly fetch the records because only IN directories, they just fetch them. You don't need to scan it, you don't need to apply anything else, you just dump it. Okay, so that's the where you are getting the better performance on this. So you can have a subfolders on this as well. You can have a subfolders as well in this as well, state wise, city wise, or whatever it is. So you will design your partitions based on the frequent queries. So based on your where class, based on your frequent where class. So on where, what is going to search, based on that, we will design the partitions. We will design the partitions. Understand guys, what is a partition? Understand what is a partition? Very in simple terms. Right? Instead of scanning whole data, if you start scan the whole data, it's time taking. So divide the data into small manageable parts. Small manageable parts. Then apply your logic. It will just fetch the records. Now what we need to understand here, the whole data has been divided into small parts, and the data has been loaded into this. So whatever the data you loaded into this, that will be a file, right? And this will be a folder, inside that will be a file. Yes or no? It means you are creating some folders. Inside that folders you are keeping some files. You are keeping some files, right? So what is happening here? This whole information has to maintain in the name node. Directory, file, blocks, all this blah blah information has to maintain by name node. So you are giving a more work to the name node, right? So that's why while we are configuring or while we are creating a partitions, we should be very careful. So whether it should not be going to break my name node's memory, or it should not be like burden on the name node. So we'll be very carefully, we'll select the how many records, I mean how many partitions we need and what column I need to divide a partition. Let's say you are simply go ahead and created the partition on the employee ID. Let's say we have other project, right? Other, like SSI, social security ID in the US. You'll see here we have other, right? So let's say I created a partition on the other ID. So how many people are there? Crores of people are there. So what it will do? Those many partition folders will be created. If it create those many partitions, your name node will cry, right? The name node says that it will cry. The advantages, it will give the better performance and easy manageable parts, right? You can easily get the data. We can easily look into the data and get it. But disadvantage other side is if you create more partitions, if you create so many partitions, that will increase the burden on your name node. That will increase the burden on name node. Understand, guys? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt for anyone here? How it will divide into manageable parts? We have a partitions by class is there. We'll use the partitions by class and we will load that. Okay, we will use that. Okay. Anil, Anisha.
No, Veera, it's clear.
Clear. Okay.
Good, Vera.
Okay, good. Now here there are some limitations, guys. Here we need to some limitations. So the limitations
Hey Veera,
are,
quick question.
yeah, go ahead, Session.
So this partitioning needs to be done before the table is created, right? Once it is created, you cannot partition it,
We can add the
or you can
partition.
partition at any time.
We can partition at any time. We can add the partitions.
Okay.
That we will see. Okay, we can alter it and we can add the partitions.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, good. Now here, let's say I'm getting the data. I'm getting the data already. It is a global data. Let's say it's a global data. This data contains, so because I'm explaining this, one of the students raised the concern, so that time she was not able to understand how it was thing. So this data will have a India, UK, some records will be there. Now, how to load this into this? Normally, what we will do, so when you have a data, see, we need to load the data, guys. So there are two type of partitions. One is the static and dynamic. I'm talking about a static. I'm talking about a static. This is also possible. If you have if you have a data in this file, you can put into some staging table, stage table, put into that. You create one column called country. From the stage table, you can fetch and put into other table, partition table. That's possible. That's obviously possible. Okay. Now I'm taking a different scenario here. The different scenario is let's say case one. I'm getting the data country wise. This is India data. Nothing else will be there in this. This is UK data. Another country details won't be there in this. This is US data. Nothing else will be there in this. So Japan data. So there won't be any other country details in this. So when you're getting a separate files country wise, what you can do, you can easily create a table. You can easily create a table. So normal, similar way how you create a table, all everything is same. Everything is same. We'll be having columns. Partition by. Observe the partition by. This column should not be part of this. This partition by column should not be a normal table definition columns. Or you can give multiple columns. Let's say I have given only one column at the time being. Remaining everything is similar, guys. Row format, delimited, blah blah blah, all those things. Now table is created with a partition. Now I need to load the India data. What I need to say? Load this data into this partition, and I'll specify country equal to India. I will hard code this. Look at here. Look at here. So I have written some note also here to make you understand easily. Manage table partition with the load command. When data is given, when the data does not have a partition column, it means I'm getting a separate tables, separate data. India separate data, UK separate data, and we are getting the data separately based on the some partition like country wise. What we will do? We will create a table. If not exist is a class of whether up to you. Load. I mean, I'm just taking some name here. Stock underscore this. My why I'm taking this. My data is this stock data. The stock data. Okay. So symbol, and I have something called open price. I have something called high price. I have something called low price and close price and volume. Guys, stock. What is the stock symbol? Okay, the price of the stock and the highest price of the stock in the day, lowest price, and what is the closed price and how much volume, 100, 200, 300. Partition by stock date. Partition by stock date. I want to partition date wise. I want to partition date wise, and remaining everything is similar, like row format, delimited, blah blah blah. Remaining everything is similar. Now here I'm loading the data date wise. Look at here. I'm loading the data. I'm loading the data date wise. What does it mean? It means my data does not contain the date. Let me go ahead and show you here. So the problem is I need to understand the location. It is there, Hive input, static partition. Let me show this. Static partition. In this, yeah, date wise. These three are the data. These three files, because three different dates I have taken. So actually, if you look at in this, you don't have a date. In these columns, you don't have. This is what symbol, open price, close highest price, close price, no low price, I think low price, and closed price, total volume. Right? It does not contain the date. Date is actually a partition column, but date is not there in our data. Date is not there in our data. So as I shown in the diagram, I'm not getting the date column here. I'm getting the separate file for country, and so I'm getting separate file country for UK. I'm getting separate file country. This nothing else will be there. So I don't need to have a separate column in this data field. You may get such kind of things, guys. You may get such kind of thing. I'm giving you all type of scenarios. Okay. In this case, what I'm doing, I'm creating a partition based on the date. So I know that this file, whatever the file came today to specific folder in my client location or some other storage, I know that if the file is come to that folder, it is that specific date. So now I have go ahead, I mean gone behind, I have created my table with respect to table. This is for 05. All the records what are there in this records are all are belong to 05, all are belong to 06, all are belong to 07. Now what will happen as soon as I create this? What will happen as soon as I create this? Let's look at, guys. So I'm just going to execute these commands. You guys understand the data, right? So very first thing is, before going to design your table, you need to understand the data. So I have a data like this in 3 different files. Each file represent one specific date. Each file represent different specific date. Okay, so now I'm going to load the data into those different partitions. Different partitions. Is the point is clear, guys? I can execute all the queries keeping in one single file. Keeping it in a single file. How? Let's look at. I'm going to execute a file now as a batch, not the single mode. Sorry. Look at guys here. Cat is mainly meant for to view the content, but if you use the cat and greater than symbol and specified file path, the script will go to respective file path. Okay, so the file will go to respective path. Now what I can do, hive -f /user local hive input in that partition script. It's actually getting executed, guys. You can look at here. Table is created. One load is done, success. Another load is success. Third load is success. So how I did? By using hive-ive or hive-f. So you can specify complete your file path where you have kept. The file can be .sql, .hql, .txt, any extension, no matter for it. Clear? Okay. Let's go ahead and query whether the tables are created or not. But here I didn't specify which database. No, I think it might have created in the script file. I could have specified use this database, this. It could have been done. Okay, let me do one thing then in that case. Use test 630. Use 630. So I could have used the database name there. Okay, I could have executed this. I can go ahead and execute one more time, no problem. Because before it was, I think it was created in the local. I can show you here. It was created here. What is the table name? Stock underscore partition underscore date load. Stock underscore partition underscore date load. Start underscore partition underscore date load. Just now it's created. 17:05 250. Here 252 is my time. And if you see my system time here in the right corner, this just created here. Just created here, right? So the idea is, okay, let's try to understand how it is getting created. Your table name is nothing but a folder. Inside that, each stock, each load command, load in this local the table name into table name partition, and you specify the stock equal to this. So when you look at here, the table is created with that name, stock underscore date equal to 05, stock underscore date equal to this and this. It become a folder in this. So each partition is nothing but one folder. Inside that, what are the path you have given here, what are the path you have given while loading the data, that is the file. That is a file. Let's go ahead and query this. You can look at the data here. You can look at the data here. This is how it works, the partitions. Now I can directly go and say that query the partition like select star from this table where stock underscore date equal to the date 2016 or 212, that's that number. Okay, it will fetch only these records. So when I say select star from this table, you will get all the tables. You will get all the tables, all the data. Let me show you that. started using the database, started created the table, started loading this. One is a partition, this, another this, another this. Now we can go ahead and look at here. Earlier there was no table, now show tables. We have a partition underscore load data. Select star from, it will show all the data. Look at guys here. We have a fifth date column is added. Actually this date column is not part of your table, no. It is a part of your partition, but when you selecting the query, it will become a part of your query only. It's a part of your table only. So when you are designing your table, it was not part of your normal table columns. It is a separate partition column. But when you're querying it, select star from here from such way that it became a part of it. Okay, that is the reason we will not keep same column as a part of the table. Suppose when you keep same column as a part of the table, it says that the column is already exist, I cannot create a table. If I make my partition column as a part of the table column here, it will also create a column. It will also create a column. Okay, it doesn't mean that it will not create. It will also create a column. So when it look at it, already the column is exist with the same name. I cannot create another column. So that is the reason the partition column should not be part of your table definition. The partition column should not be part of your table definition. Okay, so this is how it looks. Suppose you want to query only the specific part. Let's say stock underscore date equal to 2016 1205, where stock underscore date equal 2016 1205. Look at guys here, it fetched only 05 records. It fetched only 05 records. It fetched only this records. Understand partition? Understand the partitioning? Any doubt? Oh, it's already 8:30. Okay, so we'll stop the session now. So we'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow same time 6:30 to 7:30. Guys, please join by 6:30. So I'll try to wind up the previous session by 6:30 itself. You please join by 6:30. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. If you have any doubt, please go ahead and raise. Anil, Anisha, Ganesh, Kishore, Rakesh, Sachin. Any doubt? Anyone?
No, Vira. Thanks so much.
Okay. So this document is available in the GitHub. This document is available in GitHub. Let me show you that where it is available. This is my Git. Here I saw something called Hive programs. Before I thought to keep one program separately, but later I realized, so keep it in a PDF. So why I have keep in the PDF? There is a specific reason for it. Okay. Let's say if I give a text file, we'll copy and execute it. Copy and paste how I'm doing here. Like I'm a very lazy person to type, right? I don't want you to be lazy. So I'm very selfish, right? I don't want you to be lazy, and I want you to type the query. So that is the reason I have kept in the PDF file. So you may say that I can copy from here. No, yes, you can copy, but it will not copy properly. It will give so many syntax errors. So I know it. So that is the reason I have made it a PDF. So I want you guys to execute all of these things. Okay. So complete the PDF is there here. So same data, same whatever we have converted. I mean whatever I'm showing you there, all information is available here. Okay. So that's it, guys. So thanks for your time. Have a great day. Any doubt?
Thanks, Vira. Bye.
So if anyone want the link, I can share this link into our WhatsApp. Okay, let me ping this group.